Greetings, art students. You are at the Technology Center and you're going to learn skill level E, which means we are learning how to make a circuit and create art that lights up. These lights can be used really at any center. It's a little tricky with sculpture, but you can put these lights into pretty much anything. I will warn you, this is a longer video and you're going to want to do it in parts. Okay, let's tilt you down and get started. So first off, let's just take a look at what this can look like. So I've built something at architecture, and then essentially I have created a light element so that my audience can interact with my sculpture. This is the simplest and easiest way to do it, and it's pretty foolproof. It works every time and you won't get frustrated. So I'm going to show you this part first. Okay, what you're going to go ahead and need is you're going to need your sketchbook. And in our sketchbook, we are going to go ahead and, as always, we have written our name on an experimentation page. We are going down to technology, and then of course we are writing E. Nothing is going to go in our book except some really important notes. So the first note that you need to do is you need to draw one of these lights. And then, because you will forget, because Miss Russ always forgets, the longer side is positive and the shorter side is negative. And then, with that, we're going to get started. Okay, so you're going to get yourself a little chunk of heavier weight paper, and then you're going to pick out a light. Now, what I do want you to start paying attention to is different lights use different amount of energy. I'm going to keep this very simple and tell you that the smaller the number, the less energy it uses, and the longer your light and battery will work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick out a blue light. And then I'm going to take a minute to look how one side, do you see that? One side is longer. So I have to remember, longer side is positive. That's really important. I sealed up my lights and I'm putting them back in the bin. Okay, next thing I need to do is I need to take this piece and I'm going to fold it in half and then open it back up again. I'm then going to write down on the other, you can't see. Come on, Miss Russ. On the other side of the fold, I'm going to write down positive and I'm going to write down negative. Then I'm going to take my light and very carefully on the other side, I'm going to make sure the longer side is going to poke through the positive and the shorter side is going to poke through the negative. And I'm going to poke, Miss Russ, come on. Get it in frame, Miss Russ. Poke this through. Ooh, I got stiff paper. Poke. Oh, Miss Russ, your paper is too stiff. Normally it pokes right through. There it goes. Pop. Then other side. Pop. Okay. Now I've pushed it through. All the way. Okay, so it's all the way through. And then I'm going to open these up because the positive side and the negative side can't touch. Once I've opened them up, I need to tape them down. We have two different kinds of tape. We have some tape that looks like this, and then we have some tape that looks like this. Miss Russ prefers this stuff. It works better. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off a little chunk. Gonna cut off a little chunk, going that way. And now for the hard part, I have to peel off the backing. It's the hardest part. Ooh, I got it. Okay, now when I set this down, I can't overlap like this. I have to keep that space. So I'm setting it down, but then I have to make sure I have a strong seal. So I have to rub. I don't want to tear the tape, but I want to make sure it's thoroughly rubbed in. And I can tell I've done a good job because see how you can see the metal through there? Okay, now I have to do the other side. And then again, this is the tricky part, peeling off the backing. Okay, Now, I can't let them touch. If it touches, it won't work. I have to keep them separated. That's a song. Keep them separated. Anyway, Miss Russ is showing her age. You rub, rub, rub till you can clearly and cleanly see the metal. Okay, time for a battery. Now, these batteries can't go home. Unfortunately, if a little kiddo were to eat one of these batteries, it would be like a serious health concern. They'd need to go to the doctor. They maybe have to have surgery. It's a really big deal. So we always keep track of our batteries. If you notice a battery is missing, you need to tell the teacher right away because it's very important that it get located. You're going to open it up, and of course you would never put this in your mouth, and you're going to find that the positive side, and it has a little plus on it, goes down. And then the negative side goes to the other side, and you're going to seal it up. And then, ta-da! Light. And then look, when you let go, no light. So all you have to do is you would bring this to me, and once I could see that you got, oh, Miss Russ, see, we can't lose a battery, Miss Russ. Once I saw that you got this working, you would put the battery back. You're welcome to keep this little guy, and then these batteries are super inexpensive, so you're welcome to, if your family says it's okay and you don't have little kiddos at home that would eat a battery, then you would be able to make this work. Now, if you put your project on display, the battery, of course, would stay in there, and then we tape all the way around. We tape on the bottom, so no way is this battery coming out of this art project. Okay, so this is phase 1. Now, what about phase 2? I want something a little bit more complex, or I want something where I can let the light stay on. All right, this means we have to switch back over to our notes. And we have to add some more notes down. So we need to drop right in here that red equals positive, black equals negative. Anytime we start using new wire colors, I would go ahead and record on this page what colors mean what. Then this picture is going to make sense in a little bit, and we'll record it at the very end. Okay, everything that we just made is made simpler if you want lots of lights, and it's made simpler using something called a breadboard. And what this is it's just a fancy wire holder. So essentially inside here you can see there's little chunks of wire that go all the way down. Okay, so then what happens is Miss Russ is going to switch to a color where you can see the holes better. So if I put energy on this row right here, if I put energy on this row right here, and I put energy on this row right here, then it means anytime I poke something in this hole and that hole, it'll light up. If I do here, it'll light up. So now, rather than just lighting up one thing, I can light up 1, 2, 3, 4 different lights. So let's make this go. We are going to switch over now to using a switch, and see, we've got positive for red, negative for black. We're going to make sure our switch is off. Now, important safety warning. If these two wires touch and it is on, oh my goodness, there's going to be a spark. You're going to break this thing. You will no longer be allowed to use technology. You might be hurt or burned. This is no bueno. You can never let these touch. That's why this is such a hard skill. So I always have it in the off position. Okay, I put my wires in, and I'm going to go in through hole number 1. And I wiggle it all the way down in there so it's nice and tight. Okay, let's get you guys any closer. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go into hole 4. Now, it doesn't really matter which one I do as long as I keep it consistent. I like this spacing because then it's easier for my fingers to get in there. Okay, now that I have done that, that means this whole row is going with positive energy, and this whole row is going with negative energy. Okay, so then we got to make another note we always, if we have to take these wires and bend them, we always bend the positive side. So on your sketchbook right now, I want you to do another drawing where you have a bent wire with the light and a straight wire. And you need to write down that this side is positive and this side is negative and this is a light. Okay. Now, making sure that I've got the positive side going in the positive and the negative side going in the negative, I'm going to squish this in place. Okay. Am I sure that my red and my black aren't touching? Yes. Am I sure I just put the thing in correctly? Yes. Now I'm going to turn it on. Whoa! I have light. Now watch this. I can continue to add more as long as I go into the right holes. There it goes. See, I can add more lights. Now the more I add, they might start getting dimmer. Let's watch what happens when I take a blue and add it in here. Look at that. The blue doesn't even light up because there's not enough power. First the power is going to this light, then it's going here, then it's going here. So if I remove a light, oh, I still don't have the blue. If I remove another light, oh, I know why my blue didn't react. It should have done that for me. Oh, Miss Russ. I was in the wrong hole. But now if I go in reverse order, let's see. You'll see that the light that I touch the soonest gets dullest, right? Whereas if I take out the blue, those will get brighter, right? They continue to get brighter as you pull them out. So just kind of remember that the lighter color lights will, the less energy lights, you can have more of them. Okay, but I just don't want my light stuck to this breadboard, so now it's time for wires. We have these wires here, and we're going to call these, right? They've got little ends on them. So there's the stick out ends and then there's the non-stick out ends. And they'll call these male and female. And so this lets you take your light anywhere you want in your art. So if I take this end and I poke it in here on the positive side, and then I take this one and I poke it in the negative side, and then I make sure that I go, oh, I'm on the negative side, so that means the non-bent one pokes in, and I'm on the positive side. Voila! I have light. Your job is to create two lights that can work independently. Oh, Miss Frost, your thing came apart. On an on-off switch. And if you complete all of that, then you are free to add LED lights to any art piece you create. Happy art creating, and remember, never let the negative wire touch the positive wire if the energy is flowing. Bye!